Greetings. So I wanted to talk about some changes that I've made in what you're seeing now. Over the past few weeks, I have made some changes. What you're seeing here, for instance, you still see that there. Although it was further along, I used to have Mom's picture, but it was a lot further over there. Then I had it on top of my printer, which didn't make a lot of sense, and now I've got it sitting over here. But I'm sitting at an angle, which really sounds strange. I'm not really at a true angle, but for pretty much 4 or 5 years, I have been trying to sit at my desk in a totally incorrect way because I have this angle. The desk goes across straight, then it goes at this angle, then it goes back straight again. Because it's a real old wooden desk. It looks really good. It's really wide. It's a big desk. It's got cherry wood. But for whatever reason, they didn't just make it square across like everything else. So I had been trying to make it fit so that it seemed like it was straight across. The problem was I kept dropping my mouse on the floor because it's got this thing that slides out, this big wooden panel. Actually, it's on both sides. So if I wanted to pull it out to write notes or do whatever, I can. It's actually kind of neat. But I have my mouse on this thing. And what would happen is me trying to sit straight across, I would always get to the edge. I'm not paying attention because most of us don't pay that much attention to our mice, our mouses, our mices. Anyway, we don't pay tons of attention to it, but mine was always falling on the floor. I've had 3 of these things in the last year and a half because at a certain point, they don't like being dropped and they break. And then you have to go buy another one. And at $50 a shot, it's not overwhelming, but it's ridiculous. So I decided I was going to change my chair so that I'm facing it, the part that's slanted, I'm facing it better. I turned the monitor so that now keeps me keeps me straight at it. I'm at this angle, but it works well because now I can put my keyboard on here and I'm not fighting that sliding over, and I've not come close to dropping my mouse since then. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to make some other changes. So you kind of see that this area is a little cleaner now because I decided I was going to try to put certain things away so that I had a little more space. So for instance, I don't have a lot on my desk. The only stuff that I have on my desk is stuff that came today. I'm putting it now behind me, directly behind me. You can't see me. I cleared that shelf off, and that's where I'm going to keep all my stuff. I also have this drawer that I can slide out. Right now I have my keyboard on it because I have my microphone in front of me. But when I don't have the microphone, I have the keyboard on top. This only has a couple of little things, but everything else is going to be behind me. And then I make sure that I keep remembering that's where that is now because I want my desk to be clear. I mean, it's a big desk. I want the space on it. I don't need all that stuff because one of the things that you find out is that when you have a whole bunch of clutter around you, you just feel the pressure. It feels like, oh my goodness, I got tons and tons of stuff to do. And a lot of times you don't. It's just that you keep getting stuff and you pile it on top, you pile it on top, you pile it on top, and it gets irritating. So I'm trying to do this not only in my office because I've got this furniture in here that I'm trying to decide if I want to move it around a little bit, but that would mean I have to take all these books out of all the shelves, all this equipment off of all the shelves to move things around. Frankly, I'm not in the mood for that because I'm dealing with my living room. I'm going through the exact same thing. I've got my niece helping me with that. It's funny. I don't know if it's a guy thing or if it's just one of those kind of things where you get into a pattern where you just leave everything exactly the way it is. My mom's not here anymore. My ex-wife isn't here anymore, and everything still looks the exact same as it did probably for the last 10, 12 years. And so she's trying to help me move certain things around to make it more my space, which is kind of cool. One of the problems, of course, is that there's so much stuff in the house that the big stuff doesn't have anywhere to go. I'm certainly not taking it all down to the basement. That just makes no sense because we're trying to clear the basement out. I can't put it in any of the other rooms because there's stuff already in the other rooms. And those rooms have been pretty much cleared out of a ton of things, but there's just no room. Still, we have been able to make some changes to the living room, made some changes to the dining room, Have not made any changes to any of the other rooms. It's a 5-bedroom house, but we've got plans. The basement has been reduced some. There was so much stuff in the basement that probably only 10% of it is gone. It's amazing. Yet you still have to have a plan. You have to have someone to help you if you can't do it yourself. I know some people love that kind of thing, but I'm one of those people who wants to kind of look at everything to make sure that there's not anything there that I really want to keep. I found a couple of things. I'm still looking for a couple of things that I'm hoping my ex did not throw away. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I'm working on it. And then I got the master bedroom, where I've got all this stuff in a place where you would think, okay, I've got everything exactly where I want it, but now it's too much stuff there. And I've got to think about, how do I move that stuff? And how do I keep only the stuff that I'm probably going to use every single night? And this is going to sound weird to a few people. I've actually got 2 different controls for 2 different electric blankets, even though I'm only using 1 electric blanket. Because I used the electric blanket last year and I kept the controllers up there, but I put that blanket away for the summer. Now I'm using a different electric blanket. I'm actually using an electric blanket that was my mother's that I bought for her. And the reason I switched to that one is because it stays on all night long. So if I put it on a setting 3 and it warms up to the 3, it stays at a 3 for 10 hours. Whereas every other electric blanket I've ever had will warm up, then it cold, warm, cold, and that's irksome. That makes you wake up all the time. And no one wants to deal with that. So this other one works a lot better. So why haven't I taken the other controller out? Because my mind still thinks, well, you're going to use it at some point. But really the point I'm trying to get across in this video, even though I've told you a little bit of my story, is that sometimes we have to be willing to sit down and say, you know what, this ain't working for me. The space isn't working for me, or the work ain't working for me, or the TV being over there in the corner ain't working for me. And just move something. Think about it. It doesn't necessarily always take big changes. I mean, really, deciding to clear out a space so I can get stuff off my desk and put it over there, that didn't take all that long to do. It seemed like it did, but it didn't. The stuff that I had sitting here, that just moved it. It's okay. That blue thing you see there, that's my pill case. There's more pills. But, you know, pain relief, because I still had the shoulder issue. And these won't be here long. These are my McDonald's napkins from all the McDonald's lunches I was eating. And I've got cards that I have to respond to. People sent a whole bunch of cards for Mom. And I bought a box of thank you notes. And I really need to put it on the schedule to send those out, because I appreciated that. But it doesn't hurt to make changes on some things, you know. For instance, these curtains have always been here, but the black ones weren't. And so I added the black ones so that I could tighten everything up. And now, during the day, it's a little darker. And at night, I have no worries that anything is sheer. Not that anyone should worry about it. I mean, I get the woods in back, but you never know if Bigfoot's going to show up. So this is one of my thoughts that I had today that I just wanted to get out. I want to know, do y'all ever have any issues with this? Have you thought about maybe changing something up, but you've been reluctant to? Let me know what you guys do. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend.